The American Civil War stands as a pivotal moment in the history of the United States. Lasting from 1861 to 1865, it tore the nation apart, pitting brother against brother and reshaping the course of American history. Join us as we embark on a journey to understand the complexities, causes, and consequences of this defining chapter in American history. To understand the Civil War, we must first grasp the social, economic, and political landscape of the mid-19th century United States. The nation was deeply divided, primarily over the issue of slavery. In the southern states, slavery was deeply ingrained into the economy and society, while the northern states had begun to industrialize and were more inclined towards abolitionism. Tensions reached a boiling point with the election of Abraham Lincoln as president in 1860. His victory, representing the anti-slavery Republican Party, led several southern states to secede from the Union, fearing that Lincoln's administration would threaten their peculiar institution of slavery. The outbreak of war in April 1861 saw both sides hastily mobilizing their forces. The Union, led by President Lincoln, aimed to preserve the Union and abolish slavery gradually. Meanwhile, the Confederate States, under President Jefferson Davis, fought for the preservation of states' rights and the institution of slavery. The war witnessed numerous bloody battles that left scars on the American landscape and psyche. From the First Battle of Bull Run to the infamous Battle of Gettysburg, each engagement tested the resolve and resources of both sides. One of the most significant turning points in the war came with Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. This executive order declared that all slaves in Confederate-held territory were to be set free, effectively shifting the war's focus from merely preserving the Union to ending slavery. The Civil War also saw the active participation of African Americans, both free and enslaved, in the Union Army. Despite facing discrimination and unequal treatment, their contributions proved invaluable to the Union cause, helping to secure eventual victory. As the war dragged on, the Confederacy found itself increasingly isolated and exhausted, while the Union's industrial might and manpower began to tip the scales in their favor. The Confederate surrender at Appomattox Courthouse in April 1865 signaled the end of the bloodshed. Yet, the end of the war did not mark the end of the challenges facing the nation. The period of Reconstruction, aimed at rebuilding the South and integrating newly freed slaves into society, was fraught with political strife, violence, and the emergence of new forms of racial oppression. The legacy of the Civil War continues to shape American society and politics to this day. It fundamentally altered the relationship between the federal government and the states, abolished slavery, and set the stage for the long struggle for civil rights that followed. As we reflect on this tumultuous chapter in our nation's history, let us remember the sacrifices made, the lessons learned, and the ongoing journey towards a more perfect union.